Hello, Matthew Taman here. Welcome to another lesson for j2Store. In this lesson, we're going to take a look at the back end. And as you can see here, when you install j2Store for the first time, you get this message, congratulations, that has been installed. So now you have to just put in some basic information about your store. So store name, and then you put in your zip code or a postal code, and you choose your country, and you choose your currency, and you choose the symbol. So it's very basic, and you just kind of go through your kilograms, grams, or whatever that you use in the weight class. And then right over in this corner, it's asking you, do you want to include tags with the pricing or not to include tags with the pricing? So what that means is whatever price that you have, you can choose the option of prices or tags is already included in the price. So when people are checking out, they don't have to pay additional taxes because you calculate the price and the tax and the price. Or you can say, you know, I put the price in, the tax in differently, and you have the option to put in the tax rate. So once you're done with that, you click on Save and Proceed. All right, so now you've installed it and you enable it and everything's ready to go. But just a few things here. You can hide this message here. And also you can put in your download ID. The version that I'm using is the free, it's the pro version. You have the free version and the pro version. The pro version, of course, gives you a lot more features than the free version, but the free version is definitely good to get you started. So you can put your download ID there from j2Store. And let's say you have a plugin here that needs to be updated. We can take a look at that later. But once you log in, the back end is very clean. It shows you some stats about it. For today, yesterday, this month, and all the time. So this is another great bookkeeping way for you. Shows how many orders you have, your average orders, and things, things like that. So let's go over here first to the catalog. So when you click on products, you don't have any products right now. What the j2Store does is it utilizes Joomla default articles. And for those of you who don't know, the article is an article in Joomla is considered a web page. So when someone says they want to create a new article, they're creating a new web page in essence. So what they've done is they've simplified the process. So when you're creating a web page or creating a content page, you can include j2Store with it. So that's why the cart, nothing is shown here right now with this. So let's go over to click on new. And when you click on new, you can put in the title, product title, and nothing is still shown yet. This is great too because you can utilize Joomla existing category to organize your products. So if you want to activate j2Store, you go where it says the tab says j2Store cart and you click on it. And it's going to ask you treat as a product. That means that do you want this particular page to have the ability for you to sell products on? If you say no, which is by default, but if you click on yes, it's going to give you drop down options. And with the drop down options, you have simple, variable configurations and downloadable. And each one of those have different features with it that you can be able to customize. So for now, we'll just leave that as simple and then click on Save and Continue. So once you've clicked on Save and Continue, you've activated j2Store. So the next time that you go to click on this tab, you're going to see a little bit more information that you can put in here. And so let's start over in this product information here. You have the product type. You can always change the product type. So when you click on change product type, you get this message. It's going to erase the existing data that you have. So if you want to change from a simple to a downloadable product, whatever information that you have there now is going to erase it and give you a fresh start. So I just want you to be mindful about that. Because sometimes you might think that, oh, I'm just going to switch from one product type to a different type, and it's going to retain that information. It's not. So any images, any pricing, all the stuff, any SKU that you've currently put on that existing one is going to delete it for you. All right, so another thing is the product ID. This is a short code. A short code is the code that you grab to put in with your articles. And I'm going to show you that in a future lesson. But all you have to do is you just grab this code here and you include it in your articles. j2Store is going to pull from that the product information that you've created so that it can show on there. So let's go now at the bottom here. It says visible in the front end. You want to make sure that this is set to yes. There are times when people have created stores and say, oh, I can't see the products that I created. Well, the reason for that is that if you don't click yes, then that particular product is not going to be visible on the front end. And then you have the SKU. You can create whatever SKU that you want. SKUs are great because it helps you to remember a particular item. The ISBN, if it's a book, if you have an ISBN number that you want to include here, you can put that there. And then you have the brand or manufacturer, which we don't have anything set up yet. You have the vendor, you have the tax, and you have the cart button. So you can put whatever you want the cart button to say. Do you want it to say order now, buy now, choose now, check out now, or whatever you want that to say? In the product class, we don't have anything for the product class. You have to do some CSS work for that. So you go over to pricing. You can put in the price of the product. And also you can set advanced pricing, which I'm going to go over later, but I was going to give an overview for creating first product. So with the advanced pricing, it gives you the ability for you to create pricing for a custom group. So let's say you have users or customers that live in one part of the country and or one user group that you want to create a specific pricing for. Well, when you click on this custom group here, you can utilize Joomla access control levels and to build on that. And if this is a little bit confusing to some of you, make sure you go back and watch my other videos that talks about Joomla system, everything that you need to know. So I'm not going to go into a lot of details with access control levels right now, but just wanted to put that out there. So if you have a certain group of people, let's say you have a group from a certain region, and once they've created an account, you want to create a specific pricing for that group. Well, you can do that here. You click on custom group and you choose the particular group. Let's say for now for registered users. So if I wanted to create a pricing that when someone becomes a member or register on the site, they're going to see and pay this price and not the other price, this is where you come and set that. So I'm going to create, $19, and then just click on create. So now what I've just told the system to do is I want the system to charge everyone that's a registered member of the site $12 instead of the normal price. So when you log in on the front end, the general public is going to see this price, but the members are going to see a different price. So that's really, really important. That's really, really key, because there are times when you want to create a special offer just for specific members, and you can do that. And then of course you can choose a calculator here, which is just the standard. And then you go over to the inventory. You want to manage the stock. If you click on yes, then it's going to automatically start managing the stock for you and how many quantity. So if you're selling a limited number of products, for example, and you want to sell, let's just say 20 of those, you want to make sure you set the number and you set this to yes. The system is going to let people know on the front end that there are only 20 products that are available that's left. And I'm sure you've been to other websites where you're looking and it says only 3 left or only 2 left. Well, that's the same thing that is going to happen here with this one. And where it says allow back orders, do you want to allow back orders? Can people still order even though when the product run out? So for example, you have 20, when it run out, the 20 is complete. Do you want the system to still accept orders? That's the back order. Or do you want to allow but notify the customer? So the customer can order something, but the system is going to let them know that this particular product is no longer available. It's in back order, and it's going to we're going to let you know when it becomes available. So you can choose allow, do not allow. That's pretty much based on you. And then you see this the product status here, out of stock or in stock. And then notice if stock goes below a certain point. So if the stock goes below, let's say you want to say the stock goes below 10 or below 5, it's going to give a notification, saying that the stock is below the particular number that you just designated. And then quantity restrictions. Do you want to restrict the quantity, the max sell quantity or the minimum sell? In other words, what is the most amount that you want to set for people to spend? Well, you don't want to really check that unless you're trying to cap it at a certain point. I wouldn't recommend checking the max or the minimum, but that, once again, that's based on your particular store, particular circumstance that but by default right now it's not set to that. So if I wanted this to be a max sell quantity that you have to purchase a maximum of a certain amount, or I can have a minimum. And what that means is that you can't purchase anything below this price. So your order has to total, the minimum amount that your order has to total, you can designate that amount here. And then you go to the images section. This is where you add your image. This is the thumbnail, and this is the main image. And then you have additional images that you can also add, which is really great. You can add as many as you need to. And then you go over to the shipping. And the shipping part, do you want to enable shipping? If this is a product that has to be shipped out, of course you want to make sure you set this to yes. And you can set the dimensions here. And you can also set the class. Is it centimeters, inches, millimeter? You can set the weight, and you can choose the class for that as well. And then you go over to options. You can import other products. We don't have anything set up right now. You can find products with a particular SKU and then put those products here. And then with the filters, relations, and apps. So those are some of the things that we're going to go over in a little more detail, but I just wanted to give you a little more in-depth detail about adding your first product. So let's go back here. It says change product type. Click and continue. So now the system has completely deleted what was created before. So if you want to change the product type, you have to pretty much just start over, click on yes, and then you choose the variable, you choose the configurable, and all of these here have a different setting that you have to set when you're working on it. So with the variable, you go down, you notice you don't have as many options here. You got the general, you can select the brand, you got the images, you have the variable type that you can set here. So we're going to be creating different products for each type here, but I just wanted you to see how it looks. And let's take a look at the downloadable. With the downloadable product here, if you have a digital product like a DVD or a software that you don't want people to actually, you're not shipping it out, then you choose that option. And then you can choose the same thing here, the pricing, the quantity. So it's really basic to do, and you have the option here to set up product files. So if you want to upload the product files here, you can do that, and you can set up the limit. So if you want a downloadable limit, if you want a person to only download the product 3 times after they purchased it, you can designate that. You can say, okay, 3 times. The download limit for this particular product is just 3 times. And what that means is that everyone that purchased that product, they're going to be able to download just 3 times. And you can set how long they have to download it. So if you want them to download the products within 7 days, you just put 7. Within 10 days, you put 10. So that means that within the span of the days that you designate here, they have to don't have 3 times to download that product. After the designated time, they would have to repurchase and reorder that particular product. So this is another great feature that's great to have, especially when it comes with digital product. So that completes this part. In the next lesson, we're going to take a look at adding products. We're going to take a look at setting up the brand and everything that's associated with getting your store up and going. So make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, like the Facebook page. If you have any questions, comment, feedback, please feel free to leave it. And I'll do the best that I can to get back to you as soon as possible.